Right, so I'm now in the park Jardins da Luz, which is a big park right next to the Pinacoteca. Yeah, lots of greenery, very calm, quite a relaxed park. It's good to get away from the heat of the city, from the foliage around here. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick look around this park, see what it's like. So this is quite interesting. They've got a bust of Giuseppe Garibaldi. So he was an Italian freedom fighter, I suppose you would call him, who fought for the freedom of Italy and the unification of Italy. But he also spent time in Brazil, in the south of Brazil, fighting on the behalf of Rio Grande do Sul when that part of Brazil wanted to become an independent country. And then he spent a long time in Uruguay as well. So his first wife was called Anita Garibaldi, and she also became very famous as a sort of female fighter. Yeah, so this is an interesting statue right in the middle of the Luz Park. So they've got an outdoor gym here in the park with actually quite a few different bits of apparatus, and they've got a more basic one on this side. So you see this a lot in Brazil, outdoor gym equipment. So they've even got a few bits of outdoor sculpture here in the park. I don't know if that's some sort of connection with the art gallery or that's a thing that the council have organised, but there's some things placed between all the trees. Yeah, so they've got some very mature palm trees in the park. Some of them are very tall. So here you can see one of the sculptures amongst the trees and the plants. So here you can see some more sculptures, some of these outdoor sculptures in the park. Yeah, some quite interesting sculptures, quite different. I quite like outdoor sculptures, they work quite well. So it's about 5:30 now, it's getting close to rush hour, and I know from experience that the rush hour in São Paulo is pretty mad. The trains get really full, so I don't think I'm going to go on the underground at the moment. I'm going to walk around the city and see if I can find some interesting things to do. So I'm walking away from the little station now, walking sort of into the centre of the city centre of São Paulo. I don't really have a plan at the moment for what I'm doing next, so I'm going to have a good look around the city centre and see what's going on. Right, so now I'm on an avenue called Avenida Casper Libero. I actually stayed at a hotel on this avenue many moons ago, so yeah, I do recognise it a little bit. And they have got a few cafes and restaurants around here, so I might look to get something to eat now because it's about 6 o'clock, so yeah, I might get some early dinner. So this place is called Nova Ideal, has got a buffet and barbecue for 49 reais, which is quite reasonable. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have a look at the food, see what it's like. Yeah, so they've got salads, dressings, oils, fruit, different kind of condiments. These are the puddings and desserts. check out this hot buffet. We've got chicken, pork, sausage, beef, beans, pasta. I don't know what that is. Got loads of options, chips, mandioca, fish. Really good selection. And that is the barbecue area where you get your barbecue meat. So this is my first round on the buffet. I've got some pork, lettuce, rice, beans and mandioca. So you have to be a bit careful when you come to these Brazilian buffet restaurants, because the tendency is to get your money's worth and eat too much, and then you end up really full. So it's best to pace yourself, in my experience. So this is beef rib that's been on the barbecue, and this man is cutting off some bits for me to eat. Yeah, so it looks really good, really tasty. So got some really good cuts of beef there. Quite a lot of fat on it as well, which is going to be more flavour. So I've got some chips and feijão tropeiro, which I have with my beef. Feijão tropeiro is beans, pork and farofa, which is like a barbecued flour type thing. So I'm going to tuck in. Ooh, lovely beef, very tasty. So this is called picanha.
Tô querendo fugir daqui.
Yeah.
É.
Nossa, por quê?
Eu emprego na Inglaterra. Para fugir.
So this cut is called picanha. It's a beef
Picanha,
cut.
isso.
Very good quality.
Vai, Pepsi.
So I'm going for salad with the next round of beef, because the carbohydrates are a bit heavy and the salad's a bit lighter. So this is picanha. This is one of the most famous cuts in Brazil, and it's really good quality beef. So I'm now drinking a lot of water to help me digest all that rich food. Trying to rehydrate before I go back out on the streets of São Paulo. So the buffet and the barbecue here at Nova Ideal are really good quality. The beef was really nice. I had 3 cuts. I had the pork from the buffet and 2 cuts of beef. I think my favourite cut was the beef ribs. The beef was very tender, the meat was very good quality. And yeah, the buffet itself was really nice, really good selection of salads and hot food. I'm quite full now just because the beef tends to be quite filling. There is dessert included in the 49 reais price, but I just don't think I can face it because I am really full.
O mundo se modificou, mas ninguém jamais vai esquecer.
So in most churrascarias you can get a free coffee at the end of your meal. They come in a flask like this. So you can get sweet coffee with sugar or without. So Nova Ideal churrascaria has been awesome. Really good place to have dinner. Right, so it's 7:15 now. I'm just walking down the hill from the churrascaria. Wow, you can see that building lit up in red at the back there. It's got the São Paulo flag at the top as well. Quite stylish. So I'm on this central square right in the middle of São Paulo now. I think it's called Anhangabaú or something like that. Yeah, I think a lot of places are closing down for the evening now. A lot of people are sort of heading home for the night. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to head back to the hotel. But this is a very busy bit of town, lots of activity, lots of people walking around, stuff going on. So yeah, good atmosphere. All right. So central Sao Paulo at night can be a little bit dodgy, a little bit sketchy. But the good thing is that there are actually a lot of police around, either patrolling in cars or walking around, so that does help. But when I was in the square, I felt like it probably wasn't the best time to continue filming. So yeah, that's why I stopped. For me, the highlight today has been the art gallery, the Pinacoteca de São Paulo. It's an incredible museum. If you enjoy art and you want to learn about Brazilian art and some fantastic exhibitions, then it is definitely a place that you should go to. It has a fantastic collection, and there were some really good temporary exhibitions that I enjoyed as well. So yeah, it's a fantastic place and I definitely recommend it. So I've got about 2 more days in Sao Paulo, so I'm looking forward to doing a bit more exploring before I go back to London on Sunday. 2 observations that I would like to share, having been traveling in Brazil, and this is purely anecdotal, nothing more and nothing less. So when you order a takeaway pizza in Brazil, they don't cut it up for you into slices, okay? So this has happened to me 3 times this trip, and every time I've forgotten to ask them to cut it up. So in the UK, it's just normal if you get a takeaway that they just cut it into slices so that you can eat it with your hands and you can eat it on the go. Whereas here, I've had to just sort of rip the pizza up with my hands, and it's been really messy, and the cheese and the tomato sauce and toppings have gone everywhere. It's been a bit chaotic. So I found out that the reason for this is that Brazilians normally eat pizza with a knife and fork at home. Okay, so they won't sit necessarily with it on their lap and just eat it, or on the sofa or something. They normally have pizza on the table, so that's why. So if you do want to get a pizza and eat it with your hands, you need to ask for it to be cut up in the pizzeria before you take it away. That's just one little tip. The pizzas in Brazil, by the way, are incredibly good. So they have an amazing array of toppings, but just the way they cook it, they use different types of cheese, is really good quality. Like, the way they do it is fantastic. So yeah, definitely check out the pizzas in Brazil, but if you're getting a takeaway, ask them to cut it up. The other piece of advice that I have is, in my experience at least, you get charged to take out money in Brazil. So you can pay for a lot of things with your card here, it's quite common, but there are times that you need cash. And if my memory serves me well, I've been charged 20 reais every time that I've taken money out. So it's not a huge amount of money, it's about £3. But it just means that if you are taking out money, you probably want to take out more so that you don't get charged more often, if you see what I mean. So this can be uncomfortable if you're taking out a lot of money and you're walking around with it in your wallet, but it will save you in the long run if you take out more cash so that you don't have to keep going to the cash machine and getting charged to do it as well. I think this is mainly for people with foreign cards, so not necessarily for Brazilians, but for tourists who are traveling in Brazil. That has been my experience so far. It's been a really good day. I always enjoy spending time in Sao Paulo. It's a fantastic city with tons going on and a really good energy, a really good atmosphere. People from Sao Paulo are very cosmopolitan and friendly and quite open on the whole. So asking for directions and help is really straightforward. They are willing to help you. You just got to make the effort to talk to them and communicate with them. Yeah, so it's been a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll do a bit more exploring before I go back to the UK. So, goodbye from Sao Paulo. take care and ciao. So this is the view from my hotel balcony. This is São Paulo at night. And this area is called Analia Franco or Tatuapé. On the left there's quite a big park called stead, and there's actually an athletics field right in front. Yeah, so this is the big crazy city of São Paulo at night.